It's feel-good podcasting in your ear. You're listening to the Brian McDaniel Podcast, exclusively on the Digital Podcast Network. And now, here he is, Mr. Cutie, Brian McDaniel.
Hello. I am your host, Brian McDaniel, joining you today. Of course, I have my co-host with me, Vanessa Garcia.
Hi, guys.
Yes, Natalie Holmes.
Very happy to be here. Hello.
Yes, and we have a fantastic guest today on the show, Shondalia White.
Hello.
Yes. I met Shondalia performing stand-up. You are a stand-up comedian, Shondalia.
Mm-hmm.
Tell us about that. When did you get started? Where'd you get started?
Oh, wow.
Why did you get started? Why?
Oh,
That's the real question. That's what I want to
tea.
know is the why.
You know what? I'll be honest. When I started stand-up, I did improv before.
Okay.
And I decided, I didn't like doing improv. I liked the skill, but I didn't like performing it. And I was like, I'm going to take a stand-up class. I'm going to do it. But I quit my first career in animation, and I had a lot of anger. So I decided, I was like, you know what? This is the best time. And everything I wrote was filtered through anger from my job.
Yeah, spoken like a true stand-up comedian.
And
Take this job and you know what?
Shut it up.
There it is.
You know what I mean?
There it is.
So, yeah, I ended up, my first set was literally about everything and everyone at my job. And I invited them to my showcase. And people were like,
taken aback.
They were like, and it was
aghast.
funny though. They were laughing, and
Because they don't suspect it.
Yeah, they didn't think. They were like, oh my gosh, and I think everyone thought that I would end up going back to work. They didn't think I would continue being a stand-up comic.
Right.
No one believed.
Right.
And then and then it just kept going, and I've been doing it ever since. I started in 2013, kind of 2012 at the end of 2012, but for sure 2013.
I love performing with you because when you're on a show, there's just this great energy. You bring a lot of energy to a show. You're very fun. You're very positive. I mean, I know everyone's telling jokes. It's not like everything's nice, but the energy that you bring to a room and you bring to a lineup is just awesome.
Oh, thanks so much.
Yeah. And
That's lovely.
Thank you.
I absolutely appreciate that. Before you worked in the entertainment industry, did you have any jobs to speak of?
Oh, yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Like we
You
all
mean
did?
Like the real job.
Yeah, like the real job.
Yeah. I definitely have. When I first moved here, my first job was at Chili's in Encino.
Okay.
And
All right.
I was a hostess, and I just straight up, I was like, okay, I need a job. I came out here. You know how you just save the money and you go. I didn't have a job.
Yep.
And I walked right into Chili's and I was like, can I speak to the manager? And they're like, yeah. And then the manager comes out and he's like, and I told him, I was like, look, I need a job. I am planning on, at the time I was working in animation. I wanted to work in animation. So I was like, I'm probably going to work in animation, but I promise I'll work here at nights.
Right.
And that's my goal, And he's like, oh yeah. And I got hired that day. I started working at Chili's. And then after that, I had
Can you
two
sing
jobs.
the song? Or am I putting you on the spot? I'll sing the song. Chili's, baby, back ribs. There you go. There you go.
We did the backup.
All right. There you go. But things have gone well for you. You're successful in comedy. You're performing. You do voiceover work, acting, all kinds of good stuff, commercials.
Yes.
You got married.
I did.
Congratulations.
Thank you. I'm a newlywed. I just got married in December.
Wow.
So very new.
So sweet.
And I did an elope style wedding because my family's out of control, and so we decided to uninvite everyone. And
Wow.
So you just didn't invite anybody?
too,
but I didn't
so
uninvite
serious.
everybody. I respect
Yeah,
that.
no, I uninvited all that.
You can't
Good
come.
for
you. My day, you can't come.
Yeah.
You did that?
Yeah.
Where did you?
And so what was the response of that?
Yeah.
All of
Probably
that.
like
Let's
our
see.
response right now.
No, I think we were much more.
I was much more classy, guys.
Okay.
What I did was I made a comic book for my and so I'm my original. I'm an artist, guys. So I come up with these really elaborate ideas. And what I decided to do was for our engagement shoot, we were in I was Wonder Woman, and my husband was the soldier because he's a veteran.
Adorable.
And so we took a engagement shoot like that in different poses. But then I wrote a whole comic book, and my best friend, who's an artist, I told him I made like a like storyboard of it, and he made the real one.
Oh.
And what it did was explain to them that how we met, everything, how he proposed, and then at the end it said, and we will be getting married alone, which doing
it's like the classiest, most elaborate way to be like,
they turn the page and they're like, what?
They called us like, I don't understand, because my husband's Armenian, so his family's like, I don't understand, like, which wedding do we come to? And I was like, no, you are not coming.
You got the comic book, right? That's what you got.
We made that hard copy. You got that, right? With the sleeve?
Yep.
Yeah. So we gave him I did the plastic sleeve and everything.
So you went
this
all
is like
out.
Hardcore.
You went all out. Okay.
You have a keepsake now, and you do not need to come.
See, I like your style. Like your resignation letter for your first job was a stand-up comedy set where you just like told the truth about everybody, and then you uninvite people to your wedding with a comic book. Like, I like your style.
But in a classy, detailed way.
It's classy, but don't get it twisted.
I'm a smiley face with a slick tongue. That's what I am.
She'll bite you.
So where did you elope, or is that a secret? Is it like all? It's all just. It's all just
out now.
Okay.
Where'd you get married?
It's all out. So we got married in Redlands at Kimberly Crest, which is the old Kimberly Clark family mansion.
Okay. Oh, wow.
In Redlands, California, going towards Palm Springs.
Yeah.
And it's actually a historical landmark. And when we went there, I was like, oh, this is it. This is what we're looking for. Aww. And we did a whole ceremony and everything.
Yeah, you were like, there's no room for people. I love it. This is my spot.
Yeah, you had such a huge venue.
It was always gorgeous. But let me tell you, when my mother-in-law, when she saw those pictures, her mouth went, I thought you guys didn't have a wedding. No, I said, no, we had a wedding.
Oh,
you guys just didn't go to the wedding.
You told an Armenian family
this? She was pissed. Oh. That'll be in my later stand-up for next year, because we are.
Yeah, you got to get through the emotional healing of it first.
We'll let the marriage warm up.
Yeah. But we are gonna do a reception later. Like we're doing like a reception where we invite the family over. It's going to be like a housewarming reception.
Okay.
Because we're renovating our house right now.
That's what I was going to ask you about.
Yeah, we're doing all that. So that's whole part of the plan.
Right.
So they say that remodeling is actually the most taxing thing you can do to a relationship. So you guys were like, let's just do it during the honeymoon phase.
Get it out of the way.
And then we'll have one force, one negative force, and one positive force just blasting at each other.
You guys are making me not want to be in a relationship.
It's intense. I've gone through remodeling with my wife, and it's a very intense situation. So what made you decide to do that right away? Was that right? You were like, just delusional about your love? You're like, let's do it now?
Delusional. Test. Just a test.
We just got tired of looking at it needs to be, so we did 2 rounds. The first round was the most stressful, and that was right before the wedding, actually.
Oh my God.
You had to plan something.
I was very stressed out, and the doctor told me I was suffering from exhaustion. And then, hardcore. And then after the wedding, now we're doing a second phase, which is like the outdoor stuff, which is the landscaping, the painting.
Yeah.
And what I do now, finding the person is probably the most difficult, because you don't know who you can trust.
Sure.
And they all are,
their artistic creativity. And
And I draw, because I drew out the entire landscape design. And then they're like, oh, wait, is this to scale? And I'm like, excuse you. I'm not drawing to scale. Like, if you need a scale model, you do it.
I don't even know what that means.
This is like an extra thing. To scale just means like
accurate.
It's already measured out. Everything's accurate, you know.
Right.
But I'm like,
like when someone puts a quarter in a picture, so you know what size things are.
Exactly.
The audacity.
You get it.
I was like, what?
The audacity. Like, you already went out of your way to be like, here's what I'm looking for. And they're like, cool. Did you set it up?
Did you set it up? No. Don't be selfish. So anyway.
I'm just drawing you a picture. This is what I like.
But most of them are lazy. So then they come over and this is the cool thing. So they know that my husband goes to work at a certain time. And so I started noticing that a couple of them will leave after he leaves, and they'll leave one of the workers
to
do all the work. He can't do all that work, you know? So then it takes longer and longer. And then now it's been like, when I go talk to the guy after I get back, he's like, oh, so did you want this? And I was like, no, it's in the contract that I wanted this. Oh, see, he said that you wanted this. Who? Why won't you just look at the contract?
Right.
Like, I don't understand. Why is it so difficult? It's not that difficult.
Stretching it out to hustle your money.
Girl, I need a nice spa day.
You could do a nice skit about it.
Oh, yeah.
A nice comedy skit. What's your comedy skit usually about?
My stand-up skit?
Yeah, your stand-up skit.
Because I do digital sketches.
Yeah,
so I was
yeah.
like, wait a minute. With stand-up, it's about me and growing up in Flint. It's about being in an interracial relationship and dating and like a lot of racism.
Yeah.
And also me not wanting kids.
And freezing your eggs. I hear you. I think we all hear you in that.
She said freeze your eggs.
Freeze your eggs.
I do not want the frozen eggs. But I don't want none of that. Same
She's going to make a comic book that's like, here's the thing,
Here's
y'all.
the thing, guys.
It's going to be like carrying the baby at the end. There will not be a baby.
Mixed babies
Yeah.
because they want the mixed babies. But listen, they're cute, but I just, no. Right now, we're good.
Yeah.
I want to ask you, so you said you started in animation and you've been doing lots of different artistic venues. What made you fall in love with stand-up? What was the moment where you like stand-up?
You know,
Great
I
question.
actually started on, so I worked behind the scenes working on Def Comedy Jam years
no
ago
kidding.
when I
Oh,
first
okay.
came
Well,
out
there
here.
you go.
And I was working in production. That was not on purpose. I needed a job. That was back when I was still working at Chili's.
That was
girl.
Chili's. Chili's time.
So I was doing that while working at Chili's. And I did that. One of my friends got me the job because she was moving and I took her job because she just needed a replacement. But I learned a lot about stand-up and I met a lot of people who I'm friends with today because they were on Def Comedy Jam or they were hustling. Like,
Right.
you know, they were right there mingling with the comedians. And I always liked comedy, but I didn't think I would be a comedian. And then when I did improv, that opened up my mind like, wait a minute. Oh, wow, this is awesome. I'm funny. Like, you know?
Yeah.
And then I started hating improv. Stopped doing that. I didn't like, I was like, oh my God, I hate this.
You're like, nah.
Right.
I get you.
Didn't want to do that. And then later I was like, you know what? I should try stand-up. Something kept coming back where it was like, try stand-up. And I was like, I'll try it because then I'm alone and I don't have to depend on anyone. And
How'd that first show
like-
go?
it went great. That was the one where, you know,
Where she told all her friends.
Yes,
Yeah.
where you
Great.
quit your job on stage.
Oh,
Yes, that's right.
Exactly. Right.
And if you
Right.
didn't, you got fired
Where
on
I
stage.
got fired right after that. So then I became a stand-up comedian, or like I like
As
to say,
you
a
do.
broke black comedian. And so that's what happened. And so yeah, I just kind of, after I started performing, I just kind of developed a love for it. It wasn't like
And a confidence about it.
yeah, I, like each year got better. And people, also from people just liking me. I was like, oh, people like what I'm talking about. Like, you know, and, you know, fans will come give you feedback, good or bad,
yes.
you know, and they're like, well, you know, when you did this, I kind of didn't like, I felt like you were a little loud. And I'm like, oh, okay. You know?
Oh, they always have
Thanks
something
so
to say.
Next
much.
time when you talk about
Yeah,
this topic,
when you talk
you
about
should say
this-
something about, you can use that
Oh, yeah,
joke.
you
That's
can
my
use
favorite.
that. You can use that.
Oh,
You can,
my
oh my
God.
God,
can't.
so funny. You
Stop.
can use that.
I'd rather
Stop
not.
with that one.
You can use
Stop
that.
with that
Don't
one.
say that to your comedy friends.
I had
Oh
a
my
lady tell me,
gosh.
she was trying to tell me some joke about tending her garden.
Oh, no.
I
no.
know. And then she was like, you could use that. And I just looked at her like a blank stare.
No.
And she just, her head just went down.
She's like,
Okay. Yeah. No.
I once had a guy send me fan mail, send me a vibrator.
oh.
Is that off the subject?
I think that's maybe. I think we maybe went a bridge too far.
I'm assuming you
I
had a good
comment.
set.
I had a good set.
Wait a minute.
I don't know how to
How did he
interpret
get
that
your
gift.
address, first of all?
Because I trust people and I gave it to
Oh
him.
my gosh.
Yeah.
I wanted the vibrator. They were like $150.
Look, so here's
Yeah, this is a different story.
The plot thickens.
So where can we find you though? Like where can we find what's going on with you online, social media handles, all that kind of thing?
You can find me at Shondalia White. It's black, so I'll spell it out. SHONDALIA White, like the color. And that's on Twitter and Instagram. I post my shows and any acting things that I do on my Facebook fan page, which is Shondalia White Fans with the S. And also I have a lot of sketch stuff on like digital sketches. I have one parody that went viral that I did with Nicki Minaj and Beyonce, Feeling Myself. I call it's Feeling Myself, but it's like with food. That was like the only thing that went viral. But anyway, it was really cool and it's still getting a lot of views. But that's on my YouTube, and that's Shondalia White. Everything's pretty easy. It's easy to find me, guys.
All right, thank you, Shondalia. Hey, will you come back for another segment and play a game with us?
I will.
Tuesday.
All right, fantastic. Thank you. Join us when we come back on The Brian McDaniel Show.
¿Qué tal, amigos? It's Paloma Rodriguez. So you guys want to hear this Cuban girl speak her mind? Then check out the Latin Dish podcast exclusively on Digital Podcast Network.
Hey, this is your resident supervillain, Mr. Jay Washington from the Brothers Own Football Podcast. Now, if you love NFL football the way that I do, and you want to hear expert analysis from a black man's point of view, then you have to check out Brothers Own Football exclusively on the Digital Podcast Network.
Welcome back, everybody. I am Brian McDaniel. Thank you for joining us on the Digital Podcast Network. My co-host today, Vanessa Garcia.
What up, what up, what up?
Natalie Holmes.
Hello.
Special guest, Shondalia White.
What up, though?
Yeah. So, you guys, it is important to me on this show to talk about what brings us together. And my sign-off for this show is we are more alike, my friends, than we are unalike. That is by Maya Angelou. That is the end of a poem. And the line before that is, I note the obvious differences between each sort and type, but we are more alike, my friends, than we are unalike. And I think that's very profound. And I know that a lot of what we do in terms of comedy and on this show is talk about the little differences because it's fun. It's fun to dig into the little things.
Yep.
And, that's kind of a profound notion. And sometimes on the show, we will talk about relationships and things that are really powerful and important to you. And sometimes we'll get a little sillier. And so I have a question that is on the sillier end of that spectrum for our guest, Shondalia. What is your favorite flavor of Starburst?
Oh, definitely the not the orange. What is it? The red one. What is it though? Is it cherry?
It's cherry.
Yeah, cherry.
The red one is cherry.
Yes.
Okay, Natalie, go ahead. Tell me.
I'm going to go yellow. I think it's lemon. I'm sorry, I didn't know that we were judging our little differences.
Yeah, no, we obviously are.
Last time I checked, this was my preference. The yellow one, the flavored yellow.
Vanessa?
I love the orange.
I love the orange too.
They make me happy.
The orange gives me heartburn.
No.
What?
It does. I'm like, ugh.
Oh my gosh.
Is there really a difference between
Okay, now that is what I am getting at in this entire segment.
Well, I actually pick out only the orange
Really? I will give you all of my
and
orange.
put them in like a bowl.
No
Interesting.
way.
Okay, so psychologists have proven that we are attracted to food. In particular, if we think the food is sweet, it should be red or pink. In our minds, red and pink foods take priority when we are looking for something sweet because in nature, those colors are related to sugar.
Oh my god.
And berries.
What are pink foods?
Like, in the realm of, we're not talking about
Even
like a
if you have
light
it on-
pink,
Okay,
right? But,
all right.
like
My brain just got like
cherries.
Well, I've heard the color red
strawberries.
makes you
Strawberries.
hungry.
Yes.
Too. That's an
Really?
advertisement thing that all the fast food places have red because that makes you hungry.
Oh, okay.
Gosh.
I'm starting to question so many of my life choices right now.
We're
I believe it though
programmed.
because I went to art school and basically you learn how to brainwash people in a certain class.
Right.
And they talk about colors. It's like all about colors and how different colors make you feel different things. It's so true. But I
Right.
did not. I didn't learn this. They left out the information.
Well, it's
You
interesting.
picked red too. You picked red. You're the only one.
And our color is orange.
Orange.
Is close to red. And you picked out lemon, which is not close to red. And we had a universal response of, ugh.
Yeah, y'all were very disgusted with my
What?
decision.
I was
What?
actually very disgusted.
I'm not the only one, guys. They make them. It's as if other people are eating
I
them.
feel like
okay?
they put it in there just to be inclusive.
And I want to
Lemon-
make sure that I use my platform to elevate the yellow starburst
I
to where
feel
it
like it's
deserves
there.
to
They're
be.
like, you know what?
Yellow Starburst is
Let's go
diversity
ahead,
higher
it's
in the Starburst
diversity
packaging.
higher, yes.
Wow.
They're
Affirmative
like,
action on the yellow starburst.
Action in the starburst.
They're like, you know what?
I'm
Just
here
throw
for
them in
it.
there. Make them happy.
If they're doing the job, they deserve to be there.
know?
Okay, so I'm team yellow starburst.
Political reference from Starburst.
Got their foot in the door, proved that they were capable of doing the work. Y'all were so mad at my yellow starburst. I'm offended.
I was very angry.
Oh my God.
Now, I was doing some further research on this topic. And my further research found that there are a lot of people who suggest that the actual candy is identical.
No.
What? See,
And
I
that-
think it tastes very similar. Yeah.
That the actual candy of a Starburst is identical, that they are colored differently, and that there is perfume. They are scented differently.
Okay.
Okay.
But that's it.
But there's no actual fruit juice flavor.
There's no actual difference.
Wow.
We're talking original Starburst. We're talking about the canon
yellow
here.
pack.
Yeah,
The
the yellow pack.
Yeah.
And so, Shondalia, what I'm wondering is, are you willing to do a blind taste test challenge?
I'm doing it. I am doing it.
You are doing it?
Yes.
Okay, I brought in a bandana to blindfold you
Okay.
with.
All right.
Now,
it
should
is
we
long
mention
enough.
the color of the bandana? Is that part of the
No,
experiment?
no, because the bandana is just to close the eyelids.
All right,
You're not
okay.
actually going to see the bandana. Freshly washed, trust me.
I was about to say, whose head been with?
No, it has not been on anyone's head.
Y'all can't see Brian's rolling skills of this bandana, but they are tight.
They're
I am
really
rolling.
on point.
I am rolling. When I was growing up on the East Coast, bandanas did not have such gang representation, and I could wear them all the time. And now I have to second guess
You're
myself.
like, wait a minute, which color?
Yeah, every single time. Now you said that orange gives you heartburn, and
Yes.
I'm just gonna trust that that's based in chemical science and not give
Yes.
you any orange.
Okay.
But I am gonna give you some different flavors and
Okay.
let you see if you can tell me if this is your
My
absolute
favorite?
best. Yeah. Natalie,
Okay.
can you pass that over?
Oh,
Yeah.
I like that you're taking out the orange. That's respectful.
Yeah,
I
absolutely.
appreciate
Keep
that.
it science, but keep it respect.
Okay, I can put it on my glasses so I don't mess up my makeup.
I guess.
Okay,
All
I'll close
right.
my eyes.
All right. Now here we go.
I'm really excited about this.
And my co-hosts here are my objective judges, so they know I'm not doing anything weird. This isn't Fear Factor. We're not giving you spiders. There's not. Isn't that crazy though? I can't believe that stuff. That I would never do one of those shows. Oh, eating.
Oh no, I couldn't do that.
Oof. Eating something.
There's no way.
Yeah, no way whatsoever. Okay, so let's start off. Let's see if this very first Starburst
this
is your
gonna
favorite
be
flavor.
fun.
Okay.
Set that.
All right, are you gonna put it in my mouth or do I have to grab it?
Open your left hand.
Left hand. Okay.
Go narrate for me.
Yeah, I've got to
I'm-
get some
I'm off
details.
mic. There you go.
I want y'all
Okay.
to know that he has in no way touched the candy with his fingers. This is all very respectful.
I did feel the
She is
wrapper.
the only person.
Yes.
Here we go.
I put it in my mouth now.
Get a little ASMR during this part of the process.
That's the pink.
Okay.
Is
All
it
right.
pink?
She's made a statement.
All right. You're correct about that.
I am.
That is absolutely. That is
I'm a foodie,
absolutely the
guys.
pink. That is absolutely the
Oh,
pink.
is she right?
She is right. She is 100%
Nailed it.
right. Okay, we're gonna do the second one now.
Oh God.
But now
right.
her taste buds
All
are
right,
tainted
but
with
see-
the pink one.
Yeah, her taste buds are tainted with the pink one. That's true. So
Have
it's,
her breathe like coffee or something.
you know what? It's gonna be harder. That's the reality. This game
Like
gets
life.
this game gets harder as it goes
This
on.
is where we
This gets
raise
harder.
the stakes.
All right, and
like
so you know what?
life.
Since perhaps you just smelled the pink, I'm gonna ask you, can you cover your nose?
That was
for
going to be my
second
guess
round?
too. She knew the
Yeah.
fragrance, but that's
Yep.
the thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's gonna be difficult to eat like this,
I'll
but
be a
hey,
mouth
you
breather,
know
guys.
what? We're challenging you. We're taking
I'll be a
this
mouth
up a
breather
level.
for the
This-
challenge, guys.
This is what you signed
Taking
up
one
for.
for the team.
All right, number 2 coming your way. Here we go.
Okay.
Okay, here comes Brian with the second Starburst.
He's so excited.
I'm
Like
excited.
a
Shondalia has no idea of the
12-year-old
flavor.
boy.
Oh,
There you
feel
go.
the wrapper again. There we
the
go.
wrapper.
Is
Wrapper,
this-
keep it sanitary
Cool.
Here we
now.
go.
I
Am
like
I-
Her nose is covered so
Is
that
my
she
nose is
cannot
covered?
smell.
Okay. Am I gone?
I just see her red nails in the Starburst. It's amazing.
She's got to think about it with the nose
Oh,
covered.
see,
Wait
yeah,
a
see,
minute.
this is it. This is it.
Wait.
Wait,
That's
use,
the cherry.
use your
Survey
nose.
says.
Is that your favorite? Is that your favorite flavor right there?
Uh-huh.
That is your You are very good at this game, Shondalia.
Did I win?
You won the game.
Congratulations.
See, you can tell.
ow.
Speech.
You can.
See, okay,
Yeah,
I'm still
okay.
on the fence because you said the thing about smelling it and then being scented. So when
Right.
she did that first one, I was like, all right, well, she could smell
Right.
the pink maybe. But
Right.
that second one, she knew her flavor, though.
Yeah,
she
knew
did.
her flavors.
Okay.
Now, as
All
I
right,
was
Starburst.
researching this, and you can take the blindfold
Oh,
off
okay.
now, Shondalia.
Leave it
rest
on,
of
or
the show.
you know,
Or
leave it on.
on.
I'm like,
I
oh.
like to leave them on, but you know.
Yeah,
And I'm single.
I saw that study online, and then it had a comment section underneath it. The study that said, all the Starbursts are made of the actual same candy. They're not
They
flavored any
probably
different.
are
No.
Come on.
initially.
But then there was a comment underneath that said, "Nah, man, I get high and eat them in the dark all the time, and I know which flavor I'm eating."
That is hilarious.
Because it's different
That's
perfume.
Yeah, it's different perfume. Vanessa, here's some orange Starburst for
Yay,
you.
just
Yay.
throw over
Yep,
here.
here you go.
I'll be honest, it took me a second
Oh,
though.
my goodness.
That was well
Look at
done.
She
that.
just like double fisted these Starbursts
Total
that were
double
tossed at the
fist.
same time. I can't do that. Here
Natalie.
Okay.
There you go. Natalie can have all of the lemon, apparently.
Yeah.
All the yellow flavor. Are they lemon?
I just want to know, is this like a thing? Are people hating on the lemon Starburst, or is that just this room? Y'all give us feedback.
I feel like the lemon reminds you of cleaning products.
Ooh.
Oh,
That's why I don't
That might
eat
be
that.
another scent and
Let me
smell
sniff
type
this.
of thing.
It smells like Lysol.
Yeah. Oh, wow.
You ain't lying. I mean, honestly, that does have a
And when
artificial lemon scent.
yeah, and the reason I like orange because it tastes. This sounds so weird. It tastes like happiness.
Oh, my God.
Well, man, I am glad they found a way to sell
I
happiness.
feel like that's some personal stuff for you.
She's such an
That's
easy
not
date.
how they market it.
Yeah.
You're such an easy date.
Hey.
Orange tastes like happiness. Yeah, it tastes like Lysol.
Yes.
This is the real Vanessa. Just have a bunch of orange Starburst.
I brought you some Starburst, baby.
Yeah.
What color? Orange. Oh my gosh.
Oh.
We're
Oh.
engaged.
She's like, you just made my entire day.
You're like
happy.
that's what it really took was
That's what it
orange
is.
Starburst.
You
Yeah.
are going to get so many orange Starbursts in the mail now, just randomly from people. You're like,
Oh, that's hilarious.
And then
A
if you
woman
do
can
something to
dream.
make him angry, he's just like, here's a yellow.
and that's
You
when
better
I'll
clean
come
up the
over.
emotional mess you just
I'm
created.
like, Vanessa, I got you, girl. Don't even worry about it. I got you. I'll just scoop them all up. You deserve better. I'll take this.
they know what to do.
He just leaves a yellow Starburst and you're like,
goodness.
oh, shit's about to go down.
All right. Well, thank you so much for playing along, for playing the game.
Thank
Tell everybody where they can
you.
find you again, Shondalia.
Oh, please follow me at Shondalia White. It's black again, so I'll spell it out. SHONDALIA White, like the color.
There it is. Thank you guys. And I think today we have really proven that we are more alike, my friends, than we are unalike.
that's
In the
right.
wise words of Maya Angelou. Thank you so much for listening to the Brian McDaniel Show on the Digital Podcast Network. Come back and listen to us real soon.
Bye now.